Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have a new update for the Jon Favreau, The Mandalorian and Grogu movie here already. Some recent rumors, speculation, take it with a pinch of salt quite honestly, into the regards of this movie. We're going to be discussing just about everything that we know about The Mandalorian and Grogu movie by Jon Favreau right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumor series, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Okay, so in this video, we are going to be taking a quick read from one of my favorites, StarWarsNewsNet.com. I will have their article linked in the description down below. Pinch of salt: is The Mandalorian and Grogu gearing up for its pre-production? The movie having just been announced a couple of weeks ago, Jon Favreau is taking on a Star Wars movie set within the Mandoverse, the Mandalorian era, the post-Return of the Jedi era, and so is Dave Filoni as well. That's the Thrawn movie. Point being though, however, Jon Favreau's Mandalorian movie, or just Star Wars movie, is set to come out before that, take place before Dave Filoni's Thrawn movie there as well. Now, a quick other tidbit that I had recently heard, I think from StarWarsNewsNet.com as well, was saying that the Mandalorian Season 4 was only going to have 6 episodes instead of the usual 8, as all past seasons have actually done, and that instead, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie would actually act as a season finale, like a filler for those last 2 episodes that the Season 4 would normally offer, but instead it would be brought into the theaters as a movie. A very interesting concept. Okay, so anyway, at the time of publishing this article, it seems a few days ago, Lucasfilm officially announced that The Mandalorian and Grogu, a new film from director Jon Favreau, was to begin its production and its overall filming this year, 2024, probably a little bit later in the year, but a lot of specifics are missing, and all things considered, that is still a large window, honestly, of time. This should be taken with a giant pinch of salt, but ScreenRant.com had recently spotted 2 social media posts from people attached to Disney Plus, specifically The Mandalorian show, that could actually hint at some of the behind-the-scenes movements, like pre-production for The Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And I will also say it's a bit difficult to tell if this is more geared specifically for The Mandalorian Season 4, which is just in its midst of about beginning its production and filming in just a couple of weeks, like we're just weeks away from that, or if these would actually be intended for, if these are more into the regards of the Jon Favreau Mandalorian and Grogu movie instead. Okay, so I had covered this very briefly in a Mandalorian update video here on the channel just a couple of days ago, but the first and perhaps least notable at that is Simon Cass, who plays Axe Wolf in The Mandalorian. He went on to post on his Instagram a selfie in costume the day after the announcement of the movie. In principle, this could mean anything though, however, from playing around with it at home, something I would do, to sharing his excitement about the film, which he's probably going to be in, but he did not mention it, or it could be some sort of in-character table read, or even a new costume fitting for The Mandalorian Season 4. As I had mentioned, I think that last one's most probable, because The Mandalorian Season 4 is just weeks away from beginning its actual filming and its production. Now, our suspicions from StarWarsNewsNet.com, very similar to Screen Rant's speculations and report, were raised even further when that had noticed that Maria Sandoval, who had worked on the makeup department of the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian and the Season 3 premiere, as well as the Book of Boba Fett, had taken on to post a picture of her luggage, teasing in a caption, "All ready to go. Where do you think I'm off to this time around? Hint, there will be sand." End quoting the right there. Now, the makeup artist also replied to Simon Cass's post saying that, "and he's so cool," end quote, on the comment section. However, in the comments of her post, as spotted by Screen Rant specifically, she liked a reply that had identified the place as Hawaii, out of all places, which The Mandalorian does not typically use as a filming location. I don't think they've ever used it as a filming location. So, 2 seemingly innocent social media posts that combined are enough to at least raise our eyebrows. Think that neither of these people will necessarily be involved in the new season of The Mandalorian Season 4 specifically. I kind of do think they will though, however. I think Axe Wolf will be in The Mandalorian Season 4, although Axe Wolf is probably going to be there, considering where things wrapped up in Season 3. But even assuming all of this is hinting at something, it doesn't mean that they are gearing up for shooting anytime soon necessarily either. However, However, given the timing of the announcement of the movie and the fact that Pedro Pascal could have an opening in his schedule with all of his many different projects going on during the summer of this year, whether or not he'll be needed, we don't know, but he might make himself available to at least go say hi on set. It seems like a spring-summer shoot could be in the cards for the Mandalorian season, or much rather, the Mandalorian season 4, which means that starting pre-production around February is not too far-fetched. Again, a pinch of salt though, however. This is more specifically into the Mandalorian season 4 from StarWarsNewsNet.com, saying that they think that the Mandalorian season 4 is actually going to begin its production, its filming, a little bit later than in just a couple of weeks, like closer to maybe March or in the springtime though, however. I think being realistic, you can't rush art, so I'll go along with that for the time being. There aren't many other sources hinting or pointing at like when they think that the Mandalorian season 4 is going to begin its production. Also for the idea of the makeup artist going to Hawaii, or much rather having Simon Cass's post tagged under Hawaii out of all places, I find it a bit strange unless they are going to Scarif, which at the time of the Mandalorian doesn't stand anymore, and I don't even think they filmed there for Rogue One. Anyway, I digress. Another question that has been circulating around on social media is what will be shooting next, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, or the 4th season of The Mandalorian, or perhaps even both at the same time. We have a few reasons to believe that the series is at least going to be put on hold for now for some reason, even despite Deadline's throwaway line about the 4th season still being in development at Lucasfilm, which it very much is, though however it seems that maybe Lucasfilm, from other reports, are thinking about taking on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie with Jon Favreau first before they move on with the Mandalorian season 4. I don't buy it. Specifically, I don't buy it quite personally. Like, I just don't think it makes a lot of sense. But for starters, there could be, just based on last year's reports, that is ready to go into its production on October for the Mandalorian season 4. Jon Favreau saying that they were looking to begin filming in October of 2023, but because of the Hollywood strikes, of course, that just didn't happen. So people were thinking that they were going to begin now, like in January, and now what we're thinking is actually February, and not having been updated recently officially from anybody, though, however, it's hard to tell. Then there is the Hollywood Reporter casting doubt on whether the 4th season will even actually happen. In a newsletter published a few days ago after the announcement of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, there's also the old applying logic to the situation. If season 4 was already not in the works, but ready to shoot this year, that bit of information would have made its way into the StarWars.com announcement as well, which did find space to include the fact that Ahsoka season 2 is in development, so why wouldn't they be able to say that the Mandalorian season 4 was about to begin its filming and its production, and had reminded all of the 3 Star Wars films that had remained in the oven at Lucasfilm at the same time as well, kind of giving just a pulse check on the James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi movie, Dave Filoni's Thrawn movie, and the Sharmino Bitchinway Rey movie. Why wouldn't they have kind of maybe just give us a pulse check on that? Then there is also the fact that when the rumor had popped up in early December about this movie, that the Mandalorian season 4 was going to be made into a movie instead. That isn't the case though, however. We now see it unfold fully, that there's going to be both actually. It was painted as a retool for the Mandalorian season 4. The specifics of why this movie is happening are still a bit unknown, even if we are having our own theories. I think the main reason though is because we like Star Wars and we like movies, so why not give us a Star Wars movie? But many of the other reasons why fall apart if we consider that it will be a companion piece to the season of the TV show. Like, it's going to have much more implications, as I had mentioned earlier on at the beginning of this video, saying that like the Mandalorian season 4 is going to lead directly into this movie. Overall, as I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, take it with a pinch of salt. I don't buy into it, quite honestly. I don't think that it's credible enough, quite honestly, and logistically speaking, it doesn't make sense. Like, they're very close to beginning production and filming for Mandalorian season 4, so why turn around and say, oh, we're gonna shoot the movie instead? I don't really know. I don't really think that makes a whole lot of sense. We're really gonna have to simply sit and wait around for any type of tidbit from maybe the cast or crew members, or even an official announcement like they did give us for Ahsoka season 2 and for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie there as well. Guys, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been an official Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.